Welcome to another episode of Talk to Talk with me, Paige Lindenberg. This is an exclusive interview featuring Paige Lindenberg, and she's a professional race car driver, and we are recording from the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit on behalf of the Festival of Motoring. So Paige is passionate about marketing, event management, and obviously car racing. She grabs every opportunity presented to her, and her yearning sense of adventure has attracted her to all adrenaline activities such as bungee jumping, skydiving, powerboating, climbing mountains, and triathlons, and racing cars, of course. Gosh, that is a mouthful. After completing events and hospitality diploma, and whilst completing her studies in marketing as well as racing competitively, she opened her own events company in 2013, the Exception Signature Events. After receiving the rights to Shelby Sub-Saharan Africa, she helped her family start Shelby South Africa, the custom performance vehicle manufacturer, and now hold the title of National Marketing and Events Manager of Duella Group, under which Shelby South Africa, Road to Race, and Lindenberg Racing are hosted. Sorry, this is a mouthful. I've never had to describe a race car driver before, but I'm trying to do my best and trying to do justice to what she really is capable of. She also enjoys spending time helping those less fortunate than herself, working with various charities, and hope to one day open her own charity. With a strong drive for success and supportive family and friends, she has the ambition and work ethic to make her own events company, a dedication towards the Duella Group, as well as the confidence and drive to be successful in her racing. So, without further ado, let's welcome Paige. And as always, this interview is proudly brought to you by Sariti Solutions, MFC, and Evo by Nedbank. Hello, Paige.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, I am so honored. I'm so intimidated, and I am so wowed by you sitting right here. It's for any petrol head female, it's few and far between that we get to interview you, and you've just literally got off the racetrack. So that must be so exciting, right?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's a jam-packed weekend. I'm racing two different cars, very different cars. So I've got to try to get my head around it all, but I just got out of a Shelby Super Snake. We're doing a time attack event, so it's not a full lap. It's like from point A to point B, and it's your fastest time possible, which is completely different to my historic car. That's a proper race in about 40 minutes.
Wow. So, I mean, what goes through your mind even before getting into that vehicle?
So normally it's not as chaotic as this weekend, and I have a bit of time to process things, and I think you reflect a lot on the practice and the qualifying and where the car was at, and being the weather. That plays a huge factor in the handling of the car, the setup, and what you're going out, what to expect. Today my head is everywhere, to be honest, and I need to go after this and find my little zen spot, because racing a 750 horsepower Shelby Super Snake Mustang, paddle shift modern with all their aids, obviously adjust the settings on the Mustang, but driving that around the track, you can slam it on brakes, you can throw it into a corner, you can drift it, you can paddle. Now I gotta get into a Ford Fairlane. It's a 1968 Ford Fairlane, so it's a historic car, it's a proper H-pattern gear. You gotta heel toe the whole time, it's not paddle shift. You can't change gears on high revs because you'll break the car. You can't slam on brakes like you can in a Shelby. It's a two-ton car, so to break it is hard. So right now my head is spinning, because I really got to go and figure out the difference in driving and my style in the different cars when I'm doing two such different cars in one day. So it's crazy.
So what got you interested in this sport?
So my dad, Peter Lindenberg, is a very well-known racing driver. He's been in water skiing, barefooting, powerboating and cars his whole life. So I was born into it, and I like to say I had no choice, but I did. We're three girls, and I'm the only one of the girls that races. And my older sister and I got powerboats. I was 5, she was 7, and she just did into it, and I got out and said to my dad, I'm ready to race. And that's where it started. At the age of 7, I was in powerboating, age 9, South African champion, and age 11, world champion.
Wow. So what how do you have to maintain your physical stamina or your health in order to actually race a car?
Yeah, so I don't think you realize how much strain your body takes. Like after a race, my calves, or like especially the older cars, they're not easy to drive. So often like you're quite tight, like they're not power steering or whatever it is. So my third lane has power steering, but it's extremely taxing on your body, and you've got to be fit to a point that you, in a car like today is what, 26, 30 degrees. We got fireproof pants, fireproof top, and overall that's fireproof, which is like a good few layers.
Wow.
Then you got a balaclava, gloves, a helmet, and no aircon. So obviously you sweat a lot, you lose a lot of water, you dehydrate, so you definitely have to maintain a level of fitness. I've had pneumonia for 6 weeks now because I haven't had a chance to race, and you can definitely feel that it takes a toll on your body.
Absolutely.
Because of the breathing, and I think the adrenaline, you like breathe a lot heavier.
Right,
it's almost like running a marathon. You get out and it's like tiring, you know.
In terms of you being in that vehicle, I'm assuming at 350 to 400 kilometers per hour, what goes through your mind?
To be honest, I don't think a lot, like not that I noticed. And I said this to someone the other day, that I think because we're so conditioned to race and drive, you don't realize half the things that you're doing. So your mind automatically switches to race mode, and without realizing, if you watch yourself in the GoPro inside a car, you're like, jeepers, I didn't realize how much my feet are moving and my hands, and you're looking and you're watching gauges, and you don't realize at the time that there's so much involved in it. So I mean, obviously you hope you're not thinking about anything other than the racing, but this weekend I've got so much going on, I need to try and make sure I switch off. And a lot of it is about maintaining your line, your braking, and also looking after the car. You can't just go and destroy the car, and that's hard because sometimes that it does get the better of you. You put on a helmet and you're, especially men, girls are better at this, but guys, you put on a helmet and the brains go out the window a lot of the time. You got to maintain that like concentration.
Right. Next question, a question I'm not very keen on asking, but I want to ask it. Have you ever been in a crash?
I have, but nothing too drastic. I've never broken a bone. I've never broken a bone.
Let me touch wood again.
Yeah,
okay.
I flipped my power boat when I was young, and my boat sank actually, and they never found it.
Wow.
It beat me half.
Wow.
Cars, I've had like, you know, the odd bumper that, but nothing drastic. I've walked away from everything. You're well protected in a car. It's different to like a bike.
Okay. So Paige, have you competed internationally?
Yes, in 2019 we raced in the Netherlands and in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did that feel to be representing South Africa, where the sport is not really familiar with females?
It was amazing. It was one of the best experiences. So we have a series in South Africa where a lot of internationals come out to race with us, and for the first time ever, a few of us were chosen to go and race overseas with them. And my dad and I went together, and I think that was huge because he retired at the end of last year, which is very bittersweet for me. So to experience that with him was unbelievable, and to experience the caliber of overseas events, race with international guys, their cars, it was out of this world.
Wow.
It was so good.
So Paige, in terms of advice that you can offer to our followers that are interested, especially females, in the motorsport arena, what advice can you give them, just to give them the confidence and kickstart to endeavor into this?
So unfortunately, motorsport's a very difficult sport to get into, whether you're male or female. Obviously for females it's a little bit more challenging, but I would seriously look at the alternative motorsport events like the time attack today, Nicer Hill Climb, drag racing. Those are events you can do with a road car that you can literally drive yourself to the track, do a few runs with it and drive it home. It doesn't come with the hassle of a trailer and knowing how to prepare engines and cars. That's very tricky and very costly. And unfortunately, if it's not something you have people you know in the industry with, it's not hugely accessible, which is a really, really big problem in the country. It's sad. But also go-karting. Go-karting is a great way to get into it, and also figure out if it's something you love. You might love cars, but to have that little bit in you to go around the track flat out and like really just live on the edge in a car. Like in your head you might think it's what you want, and when you get in it may be the complete opposite. So I would get a feel of go-karts first, but the easiest as a grown woman, especially if you're not brought up in it, I would say look at alternative motorsport. Kids, if your parents can afford it or they have an in, go-karting is definitely the way to start.
So Paige, are you a girly girl?
No, I'm not a girly girl. I do my nails.
She does her nails.
I do my nails. I love my nails.
She has her nails done.
I don't do them myself, that's for sure. But I have my nails done. I wear the odd makeup, but I don't wear heels every day. Like I dress up when I need to.
Okay.
But I'm not a girly girl. I still have a tomboy side.
But I can confirm and we can validate that you do not have to act like a man to do what you're doing, right?
No, absolutely not. I live a very normal life. I mean, I dress up with my girls, we go out, I wear skirts, I wear heels, I wear makeup every day mostly. I have the days where, you just don't want makeup on. Love doing my nails. I would say like, I'm not a complete tomboy, but I'm not your average girl. I love adrenaline and fun, different things.
Well, Paige, I just want to say thank you. I know you need to get back onto the tracks, so I want to say thank you so much for contributing to our platform. I'd love to have you back in studio and maybe contribute more towards the education in terms of motorsport for young women in South Africa. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Viewers, we would like to thank you for your continued support and encourage you to like and share our content. Our non-profit companies, the Motoring Woman of the Year Awards, powered by MFC and Evo by Nedbank, and the Talk Studios, sponsored by Sariti Solutions and Evo by Nedbank, are platforms aimed at empowering, uplifting, and celebrating the women of motoring South Africa. We are not just telling stories, we are changing lives. If you are searching for a new or pre-owned vehicle, please visit www.auto.evo.africa. We have a wide range of vehicles on sale for you to choose from, and we only advertise on behalf of reliable and trustworthy MFC accredited dealerships. This car listing portal is user-friendly, and you can also find vehicle reviews, car maintenance tips, and automotive advice, all courtesy of Talk Studios. Ladies, I just want to conclude this very special interview by saying that a woman is the full circle. Within her is the power to create, nurture, and transform. Paige is an example that women can do great things, but also do small things with great love. If you're feeling helpless, reach out. There's always people like Paige to mentor you. One's life has value so long as one attributes value to the life of others by means of love, friendship, indignation, and compassion. It's very important to uplift each other. Motorsport is a predominantly male activity, but racing is no longer just reserved just for men. Be brave, be ambitious, and empower yourself to achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to accomplish. And with that, the question should never be, who's going to let me? It should always